Hey everyone, Stan here. I am just in the main room where my studio is based. I am setting my drums up because I'm about to go back on tour with Black Comet, and I've switched my blue kit out for my white kit. And I figured that while the kit was here, I might actually do a little bit of a rig rundown video. I get lots of questions about my gear and I generally answer them all, but I figured that if I put it all in a video, and if anyone has anything more specific to ask me, then they can head over to the video. So let's get into it. So I use mono cases. I've been with mono for a few years now. Started off with their cymbal case and snare case and just absolutely love touring with these cases. And then they graciously made me a full set for the kit as well. So these are sort of as hard as a soft case can be, and they're just really great to travel with. Super durable. In terms of the drums, I use K Drums, which is a New Zealand drum company. So Ben, based up in Auckland, only uses New Zealand native woods. Which when I moved back from Melbourne, that was just a really, I don't know, that idea just really resonated with me. Working with a local builder, one-on-one, using local resources. And it was actually this snare that he built me that got me over the line. So once I saw Ben's attention to detail, that was when I knew I wanted to work with him even more. So this is a 13x7 stave construction. The sizes of the kit are 22 by 14, so nice and shallow, super punchy but not too boomy. And then I've got 10 and 12 by 8, I've got 14 by 14 and 16 by 16. And then for my main snare, I am using a snare that he's only just released recently, which is his first sort of dive into metal snares. And this is a 13 by 7 Corten steel snare. And man, between these two snares, it's ridiculous. This pairing is amazing. So yeah, I'm super impressed with this snare. I call it the Skull Crusher. So let's get into cymbals now. So I use Istanbul Agop, and I generally use the same cymbals most of the time. Sometimes I switch out crashes for, say if I'm playing with Georgia lines, I might use the crashes just because they're a little bit more lush, but this setup here is what I use most of the time. So we'll start to my left. We've got an Exist 18-inch ion crash. So these are great because they're super short, but they're not very loud either. So it pairs really, really well with the next crash that I'm going to talk about, which is the Exist Dry Dark Brilliant. So I love these crashes. This is the 19, and then I put a little 8-inch trash splash on the top as well. And then down here we've got my favorite hats, which are the 14-inch Epoch hats. I do love the 15-inch Exist Dry Dark Brilliants as well, but I just love the crunch and articulation of these hats. They're just really, really crispy. Then here I've got a 10-inch Dry Darks. So this is an auxiliary hi-hat. These are awesome. So I've been using auxiliary hats for years, and this is probably my favorite aux hats that I've come across. Then up here, my favorite splash, which is a 10-inch Exist Ion Splash. These are amazing. And then over here is the stack sort of setup I've been using for some time now, which is a 14-inch Exist Ion hat top on top of a 12-inch China. I just love the, it's less abrasive than your traditional stack when you stack them like this with the hat on the top. So yeah, I love that stack. And then this ride here is my favorite ride, which is the 22-inch Fusion ride. It's got a super crispy bell. It's a special edition, but it sounds like a jazz ride. And I've actually got a magnet on it currently, which I'm liking because it just takes a little bit of the washout when I'm playing with Black Comet. And I'm always experimenting with those sort of things. So sometimes I put gels, like tone dampeners on the bottom of the cymbals as well, and just experiment with a bit of that. So I'm liking this setup at the moment. Over here I have the 21-inch Exist Dry Dark Crash. These crashes are amazing, especially paired together. These crashes are to me what crashes sound like in my head. So once they released this series, I felt like I was at home when it comes to a crash cymbal. Then over here I've got another set of 10-inch hi-hats. This is the Exist, what are they called? The Exist Ion auxiliary hats. These are amazing. So these coupled with these, with this thrown in there, like between these three, it's really, really fun. Lots of cool hi-hat interplay. And then over here I've got the 18-inch Turk China. This is my favorite China that I've played ever. It's not too abrasive. I like these tones and sounds, but I like the sort of aggressive stuff, but not harsh. And that's what I like about these Agop cymbals, is that all these different sounds that I get to play with, nothing's too abrasive or too harsh, but it still gets the point across, which I really dig. Let's get to heads now. So the heads that I use the most are the black suede Emperors. So they're just super durable. They don't, they have a lot of tone, but not too much tone. Super easy to tune as well. And then on the bottom, I use the clear Ambassadors on all the toms. On the snares, I used to use Emperors, but I'm really loving the controlled sounds again. So I've got 2 controlled sounds, and then I've just got a hazy snare on the bottom. On my kick drums, all my kick drums are P3s, so clear P3s, and then on the front, it's just a ebony P3. Once again, it's just my preference. I just love the sounds that I can get out of all these heads, these combinations. Super easy to tune, and they last forever. Let's talk about the pedals. So some of you have been asking me about these pedals. So this is the Altune pedals. So these are made in Korea, and these are just incredible. There's not really much more to say than the fact that these are definitely my favorite pedals that I've ever played. So I use them in conjunction with the K-Drums wood beaters, and yeah, I just love them. I've been doing a lot of double pedal work at the moment. Not so much out on the road, but I'm doing a lot of double pedal work, and I just love these double pedals. So yeah, you can check them out as well. And then what else have we got? We've got my sticks. So I've been with Vincent for a few years now, and I've got a signature model from them, which is basically based off the 55F precision model, which is in between a 5A and a 5B. So yeah, I love these sticks. They're once again super durable and a pleasure to use. And then what else have we got? Oh yeah, so recently I've been experimenting with these. So these are called the tandem drops. And basically what they are is they're weighted specifically, and they work as a natural gate on the drums. So if you're playing live, they don't kill the tone, they just shorten it, which is perfect. It just makes the job a little bit easier for the sound man as well, so no overtones, especially when you get bass amps and guitar amps on stage and everything's sort of, resonating together. These have just been amazing. Excuse me. So yeah, I've been using them on everything, to be honest, and they go from memory from 40 grams all the way up to 200 grams. And they just take, like I say, they just take a little bit of the length of the note off without killing the tone. So check them out if you haven't seen them yet. And yeah, that's the setup that I'm using. Like seriously, every time I sit behind my drums, I'm just on cloud 9. It's just a pleasure. I'm still like a kid in a candy store when it comes to gear. I absolutely love gear. Always have, always will. I'm a bit of a nerd, and I'm sure all you are too. It's sort of, part and parcel with being a drummer, I suppose. And the last part is I use all Yamaha hardware. So I really, really like Yamaha's hardware. It's just super practical. I've got the 2-leg hi-hat stand here, and I've got the 3-leg in my studio. And yeah, between their sort of mini boom stands and their clamps, it just makes things really, really easy when you're out on the road. And then the last thing I can see that I haven't mentioned is the Altune cymbal nuts. So these are great because they're quick release, but the spring on them is really, really strong, so these never come off. So I've been using these for some time now when I got my Altune double pedal and single pedal, and can't recommend them enough. For me, it's just about practicality and design. So I like experimenting with new things and seeing what's out there, and I must say this is the happiest that I've ever been on any gear that I've ever had the pleasure of playing. So, but it's all just personal preference. You've just got to keep digging around until you find the sounds that work for you. So yeah, if you've got any more questions, feel free to hit me up. I don't think I left anything off this video. And this rug is awesome. It's 40 years old. It's my wife's, and she's let me use it for all of my drumming videos. But yeah, I better go because I've got to get this kit packed up, and we're heading off in about half an hour. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you aren't subscribed to my newsletter, head over to masterminddrummer.com, where every week I write a newsletter on mindset, creativity, being a professional musician, and how to level up. And I also sell a bunch of courses over there too on things that I consider high value ticket items when it comes to drumming. So all the stuff that I teach in my one-on-ones, I've created courses for, and it's the stuff that I feel moves you the fastest as a player, with an element of trying to push you as a person too, which I think is really important. So yeah, thanks for your time, and I'll see you soon.